Good morning, everybody. You are tuned in to the Reach Podcast Show, where every show reaches beyond the ears of the listeners. And man, I can't tell you how excited I am to have my sister in the house today. We're going to talk about basically everything she got going on if we have enough time. I mean, when you talk about a mover and a shaker, this is what this woman embodies. But I'll let her introduce herself in just a second. Just wanted to, again, always acknowledge the times and the pandemic that we're in. I hope that you all are blessed and as well as can be dealing with these issues that we're facing, the new normalcy for everybody just in the world. You know, it's not even just our local communities. Everybody is facing this. So I hope everybody is banding together. You're becoming a better person and finding out some different things to make you and your family better. But the new show time, 10:30. So we're ahead of schedule, but behind the new schedule time, but it's all good. So from now on, we'll be moving forward. We'll be starting at 10:30. So I appreciate everybody tuning in to the Reach Podcast Show. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome my sister, Miss Kathy Tatum, to the show. I appreciate you coming. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. I just gotta do you proper. I gotta read this information. You know how they do. So you're looking at a woman that's a CEO of Tatum Synergy Investments, LLC, CEO of Collaborating Voices Foundation. And the real story is this sister is a survivor not only of child abuse, sexual, domestic violence as well, and lives a life where she can testify and tell a story to that. And we're going to cover things from her passion, which is she's a father's right advocate and has a knowledge in that field, a lot of knowledge in that field, and that's definitely something we want to do. And talk about some cool things that she's been pushing and actually fell upon throughout this pandemic. So is there anything else you'd like to say about yourself? I just had to give that.
It's just weird when people talk about you.
I know, right? I know. And it's funny, you know, I'm going to tell her. She's like, I'm nervous. I'm like, ain't no need to be nervous.
You know, when you're friends, you're just like, okay, you going to talk about me? So I'm like, okay, it's just, he's very selfless. So it's like, it's just weird.
Yeah. I appreciate you being here. You know, I appreciate you accepting the invite. And, you know, she made it here. So today, what I want to talk about first is a couple things that I have going on and that you can become a part of is that next week, you know, I'm going to do a Facebook Live and I'm trying to unite the community in a different fashion, because what's going on right now in the world today with all the senseless killings and all of the just unimaginable things that are happening, it just becomes hard. Everybody's speaking out. Everybody's saying somebody needs to do something. So my drive that I've come up with is that I want to do a Facebook panel discussion and a forum. I have a couple officers that, you know, that we're going to bring to the Facebook Live. And I know we've talked about that already. But the date I have nailed down is next Thursday, May 21st. We're going to try to start somewhere between 6 or 7 p.m. So look out for the promotional material as far as that goes. And I've been posting some questions over the last couple days. After the show, I'm going to post a new question. But it's just to get our brains going, to ignite our minds, and just what would you do if you could do something? Because as you know, we can all do something.
We all can do something.
And I like, if you don't mind, just share just your thoughts. I know you made a comment on a couple of posts, but what do you think about just the situation as a whole, you know?
Well, I know I referred one of my police officer, Officer Lamar Glass. He's actually in Dallas. But my thoughts are, with the police, we have to get to demanding that police are in their neighborhoods that they grew up with. A lot of times they choose, and there are also heroes. But when you have police officers that are patrolling areas that they never grew up with, that causes you not knowing who is walking down the street, who is coming out the grocery store, instead of stopping a conversation and actually saying, wait a minute, we grew up together, we went to school together, what's going on here? You have to go back to that. And when I reach out to the police officers and I ask them, do you even live here? And they're like, nah, I live over here in Sugar Land, or I live here. It's fine, but what about your partner? that person don't live in that neighborhood either. So I think that takes a lot of time, and it will solve a lot of problems when our officers and our firemen do not know the area that they actually are working in.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that will make a big difference. And another thing is we have to get educated and get knowledgeable and enforce things that we know can happen. But the first step is we got to know what can happen, you know, and what's feasible. So things like that, we have to figure out and organize a way to tell the people what they need to do, you know, because that becomes the big thing. When we don't know what to say, you know, it stagnates our progress in the things that we're trying to do. So, you know, that's just one of the things. There's been so many comments that's been made. I appreciate everybody, you know, giving their 2 cents, and it's just, I call it controversy, you know, is the conversation. Then I think about conversation with the other side, because we also have to think it's not just the police that we are angry at, but guess what? The police, because I made a comment based off somebody else's comment, and it's, we can change the cops sometimes too. You can start off with a police officer that's all good, you know, and then things happen, the community treats them a certain kind of way, and then all of a sudden they turn for the bad, you know. So it's just so many dynamics, but that's what the conversation is about. So y'all just look out for that next week on Tuesday, and we're definitely gonna, you know, push that conversation, you know, and get everybody involved. And the next thing is we're launching our Father's Day walk. You know, it's something that we've been working on for a little while in collaboration with World Youth Foundation and my man Roy Dillard of Life Jackets.
Hey, Roy.
Talked to him this morning. But the walk will be launched. You can go to my page. You can check out all the Facebook. But just participate, you know. And what's going to happen is we've turned it to a virtual walk, so you don't have to show up anywhere. All you have to do is hopefully what you've been doing, you know. But it is a fundraiser, and it's for several causes, and we call it the Walk for Life. Dad, Males, and Mentors for men's mental health. But also we're going to include the initiative of all of these senseless killings. There's different initiatives that be created out of that, and the proceeds and stuff will go to all that, and also benefit each organization. Dad Chronicles, you know, I'm a youth community activist. Roy Dillard of Life Jackets, he promotes preventable deaths, and then the World Youth Foundation, man, I just appreciate them getting behind me as much as they have, and that's going to go to our Ep.23 initiatives where we help all the youth, and we meet with them once every second Saturday. So look out for the walk, get registered, and just do your thing. And we're going to send out shirts and make it a hashtag for Dad, Males, and Mentors, and hopefully everybody will partake in that, man. So I just wanted to share that part of that. Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know where to start with you, Miss Kathy. I don't know where to start with you.
A lot of people say that, but I think, like, I know we talked about hitting why I became an activist.
Yeah.
And so I can start with that, just for those that don't know, because they look at me and don't tell everybody, yes, you don't know their story. So it's important for us all to tell a part of their story, because if God brought you through, it's okay for me to talk about God, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Look,
is that what the G stands for?
God. Without him, we would not be here. So absolutely. Absolutely.
When God puts you through a lot of things, I believe when you come an adult, it's our job to speak upon it, and to learn from it. And I say, you know, that's why that Bible's there for us to read what he went through. Right. And so when people say, nah, I'm not going to talk about my experience, I'm not going to, it does, to me, it's not helping anybody. I don't think it's helping you either. So I grew up in a house, Pennsylvania, and I think people on the outside knew something was wrong, but they didn't know the extent of what was going on. And that's where I say child abuse needs to be spoke upon. Yes, we speak about alcohol, and we all maybe know somebody that's an alcoholic, but they don't understand. I'm not sure what happened totally with my mother, because my abuse came from my mom. And people ask me, are you angry? I'm not angry, because I really knew that she had a mental problem. Who abuses their own child is a mental problem. Right. And it takes, when I say the village, I was more angry at the village.
Gotcha.
Because the village
Why y'all not stepping up?
Yeah, they looked and said, the village didn't like her. The village didn't want her around. The village fought with her. So you didn't check on me. So when I say abuse, when my book comes out and the movie comes out and all that stuff comes, I can speak about this because you'll know more intimate incidents. But I have cigarette burns all over my body. I have gunshots on my body. I have stab wounds on my body. And when people go, well, your mom can't do no wrong. Watch your statement.
Right.
Watch your statement, because your mom can do you wrong. And some people don't speak out. And when I say gunshots and all that, I remember when, just in case somebody's out there, I like to say exactly kind of what she did is she got drunk. She had a one-shooter, and I was really hungry. And I went into the cabinet where she put rat poison in. It was just obvious. I got sick because she didn't want me to touch the food because she did night shift. And I got really sick. And I was so hungry, I was cleaning the living room, and I found 50 cents. That 50 cents back in the day,
took you a
in the
long
80s,
way.
it gave you a popsicle, it gave you a soda, some chips.
Yeah.
And I remember about to leave to go to the corner store. That's how old I am. We call it corner store. She shot me.
Wow.
But it didn't faze me. It just was. If you ever been shot before, look, I don't know how many people been shot.
Yeah.
It's a warm feeling. It's just like, okay. And then it hit me in the back. It's like, man, Lord, it's time for me to go. I'm talking about die. I mean, I don't know how many times I've asked the Lord to go, please take me to heaven. And nothing happened. It was just blood oozing down. And I tried to put a Band-Aid on it.
How old were you? How old were you?
Man, look, there's a lot of abuse before that, but that had to be, I was in junior high, so that's 7th grade, like 13 or 14.
So, because the way you just described that, it's like, oh, I got shot. That's it. But
because it's so much other abuse.
So much beforehand.
I've had broken bones. I've had so much, like right here. That's because I didn't mix her alcohol right.
Right.
It's just a cyst. So it gets to a point where I just didn't have any feeling. It was just like, okay, it's just another day. And I'm just like, okay. She leaves. She goes to what we call the Wonder Bar. So she leaves. I'm still hungry. So I leave out the house and I go to the corner store. And I get the soda and everything. I'm so happy. I get back in the house and I'm eating. I hear boom, 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 boom. That's the police. And they're telling me, Kathy, I need you to come to the door. I was like, how you know my name?
Yeah.
Well, you remember, you go back in the day, the corner store people all knew your name. And they're like, we follow the blood trail. And I'm like, no, I can't open the door. My mom is going to kill me. They said it's too much blood. I'm like, man, where did the blood come from? I'm like, I thought I filled it up. I'm sitting there like, where did the blood come from? And I'm like, and I'm looking at my coat, and it's filled with blood. And I'm begging the police. I'm saying, please go away. Please go away.
I want people to soak that up. You're 13, 14, whatever it may be. So much abuse has happened before this moment that in this moment, you're not even concerned,
I'm not concerned
that you bleeding out.
No, I'm concerned for the police.
You worrying about what they're going to tell your mother.
No, I'm worried that she's going to kill them.
Oh, you fearing for them.
I'm fearing for them. Because my mom has a past with the police. My mom has been arrested several times, and they've let her out of jail. So that's how much they just.
And that plays a role too. We'll touch into that a little bit more. But go ahead.
I'm begging them. I'm begging them to go away. And then when they say they're going to break the door, I'm like, man, I'm going to get more in trouble because now the door frame is going to be broken. When they got in, they said, we have to take you. You are a child. Where is your mom? I don't tell them she did it. I come up with a story. I said a crackhead did it.
You have brothers and sisters?
I have sisters. They just sat there.
Wow.
Because they were favored.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I made up a story that I was walking to the store and I ran into a crackhead. And the crackhead did it because they wanted my 50 cents. So when I got to the hospital, I'm just zoned out. I'm literally, what's going through my thoughts are, I know these doctors ain't falling for this.
Right.
I know they know. Why? I'm not in a gang. I know this is the time she really gonna get it.
Yeah.
they're looking for her. They're looking for her. And I'm sitting here, and I remember watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and I'm looking there. I'm literally on the bed, and I could see the nurse's expression. Like, girl, you're not even crying.
Yeah.
I'm just like, no. Because I've been in and out of foster care. It's like, y'all gonna finally do something? Yeah. I have no faith in the system.
In the system. That's what I was finna say.
I have no faith in the system
is zero.
Because it was like, so when she came around the corner and they're telling her expression is like, oh my God, my baby got shot. I'm looking out the, like, really? Y'all, look, I'm looking at the doctor.
She's a actress as well,
Man,
too.
I was looking at the doctor, and I was looking at her, looking at the doctor. And I'm like, these mothers gonna let me go home with this woman again. How many lives? I know my name's Kathy, and they say 9 lives, but I'm sitting there like, how many lives does this woman got to take? She takes me, and the police are behind her, and then I guess the CPS is like, okay, we're going to check on her. We really need to know that we're this crackhead. We're going to have a sketch artist come to the house. I'm like, she right
here. Yeah.
And they're like, describe the crackhead. I'm like, I'm really describing her. I'm like, she's like 5'7", and I think she's like built like this. I smell alcohol on her breath, and I'm looking at the woman
so like when you gonna catch the